Did you know that your family history could be the key to unlocking your true potential? Well, today we're uncovering the hidden power in your DNA with Judy Wilkins-Smith, a world-renowned expert in family patterns, systemic work, and constellations. Judy is also a best-selling author and motivational speaker, helping people break free from multi-generational patterns and step into lasting transformation. Judy, we are so excited to have you here today. What inspired you to explore the fields of systemic work and constellations?
Wow, a strange thing, very strange thing. My father was killed, and it was either write books or go crazy. So I started writing books and then stumbled into this, and the rest is kind of history.
Okay, Judy, how can you identify and understand epigenetic patterns?
Okay, so one of the ways for you to understand if that's what's happening in your life is to ask yourself a couple of questions. When did it start for me? What was happening in my life at the time? What did I make it mean about me? What did I make it mean about others? And does anyone else in the family have a similar pattern? Because if they do, the chances are that this may be a pattern you've inherited. Now, a lot of people will say to me, yes, but I don't know my family. Maybe I'm adopted, whatever that looks like. In that case, timeline your own life, exactly the way that I said. Go into it and ask yourself when these things have happened, what you've noticed, how they get triggered. And then you ask yourself a very simple question. Okay, so I know this comes from somewhere. What do I want to do with this? Because the beauty of emotional DNA is that it's there for you as an unlocker. Often we use it as a blocker, but it's also an unlocker. When I start to have different thoughts, feelings, and actions, and I look at what's possible and what I'd really like to do with the pattern, that's when we start to turn our lives around.
Judy, can you explain what a constellation is for some people who may not know and how it can help us evolve?
Absolutely. A constellation is a really fun piece of logical, practical, deeply transformative, magical work. And it looks a little something like this. So you come in and we sit down and I ask you what it is that you want to work with. And typically that's in a live event. So we've got a number of people around. And I've done it without plenty, but typically that's what it'll be. And you say, well, I struggle with relationships, or I struggle with money, whatever it is. And we start to explore again. When did it happen for you first? When did you become aware of it? What was happening at the time? And so we identify the relevant parts of the puzzle. So maybe it's mom, dad, sister, brother, relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, partners. And then I ask you to pick a representative for each one of those pieces and give me a picture of what that's like. So what I mean by give me a picture is place them in the room in spatial relationship to one another so I can see who's close to whom, who looks away, who looks in, who looks down, who moves, who's very still. And then I start to ask questions about that. So why is your mom so far away from your dad? Well, he went to the war, and when he came back, it was never the same. Where's he looking? I don't know. He's never kind of been present. So I might put another representative in for the war. And what you see is instead of you trying to work things out here, you're now getting a 3D picture of what goes on inside you. And because you're hearing it, you're seeing it, you're feeling it, you have an embodied multi-sensory experience of those patterns. And what we found is it shifts things very, very quickly. Instead of it taking years, decades for you to work through, that can happen in a couple of hours. You start to shift very fast. So what happens is you're also rewiring your brain and you're rewiring your body. You're rewiring your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And that starts to change things for you, as I said, pretty quickly. So that's a constellation.
If someone watching wants to dive into this further, what's the best way for them to do so?
I would say read my book. That's a really good one. It's going to give them all sorts of insights. It takes you through steps so that you can get yourself there. Or they can get a hold of me at my website, which is judywilkins-smith.com. Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, I'm there. My other book is also a very helpful one. And then they can come to one of the live events. I'm doing one this year at Disney World, because if you're going to start the magic, why not start it in the magic? And that's November 1 through 4. And they can find the details of that on my website as well. But yeah, that'll tell you all about systemic work and constellations and the hidden magic and power in it.